just woke up, and it's like 2 a.m. on Thursday. So that means there was no update on Wednesday, but this will be going up very early on Thursday morning, and not on purpose. But I have previously done some propless bookstore roleplays, but I've never done a non-propless bookstore roleplay. So this is a bookstore, but I have books next to me. Okay? So, hello. Hi, welcome to the bookstore. There's no name, it's just the bookstore, don't question it. It's not copyrighted, like, we're allowed to name ourselves that. No one had taken it, because I guess everyone just assumed it had been taken. But anyway, are you looking for anything in particular? You're just looking around, you want me to grab some things, like, from a bunch of different sections and see what you may like. Okay. Yeah, I can grab a few things. Yeah. Alright, so the first thing I have here is a poetry book. It's a poetry book. This is called Bluets by Maggie Nelson. It's a poetry book. It's kind of organized like a numbered list. So you have like 104, 105, 106. Sorry, 102, 103, 104. But it's all about the color blue and about studies on the color blue and blue as like an emotion and as a way to perceive things, as like the history, poetry about the life with everything, but it's all related through the color blue. It touches on a bunch of topics, but then relates them back to this color. So it's a really, really nice read, and it's not long. It's not a long read at all because of the way that it's formatted. It's maybe a couple hours total, maybe, but a very good book nonetheless. Then I have The Belcher, The Belcher by Sylvia Plath. And this is kind of I think more of a young adult book about this girl named Esther Greenwood, and she's, I think, a journalist, I want to say, I know towards the beginning it takes place in, I think, New York, but it goes into the dark and harrowing corners of the psyche, which is an extraordinary accomplishment and has made the Beljar a haunting American classic. But it's by Sylvia Plath, the poet, and she has, so I personally really like her style and the way that she writes, but this book I have never finished, so I can't tell you too much about it. But then another young adult book, we have An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. 19 Catherines and counting. And so it's a book about a boy who all of his exes were all named Catherine and all broke up with him. And I think I read this when I was in probably middle school. So I don't really remember much about it, but other John Green books are really good. But I can put that down and grab you another John Green book we have called An Abundance of Catherines. So, either one you want. They're the same, but we have 2 in stock. I'm not sure why we have 2 in stock. Usually we only carry 1 of every book in store that we have. But this one, we have 2, and I don't know. Sorry, and I'm not sure why. But in case you have your preference, I brought them both over just to bring them out. So, if you're interested in either of these, they are the same. Then another young adult book. I brought over a couple more books as well. This is also by John Green. This is Looking for Alaska by John Green. Looking for Alaska. There's the smoke. And what I remember about this is this girl. There's this girl, Alaska, who is kind of like the John Green, like the young adult girl in all the books. And then one day she just disappears, and they go and they try to find her, and her name's Alaska. And then they end up finding her, the boy who's, I think he's been in love with her the whole time. And he goes and he tries to find her, and then he finds her, and then I think they get together. Or he's with someone else. He has a girlfriend, and they go and they find her together. But I remember at the time thinking that this book was really good, if that's kind of your demographic of things that you enjoy reading. My last young adult book that I brought, don't worry, last one, was The Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. So this is by Jesse Andrews, so not by John Green, but it's similar to Fault in Our Stars. So yeah, it's this boy who, he has one friend, and he is fine with that, and he doesn't want to, like, do anything. He kind of stays in the background, and then his mom tells him to become friends with this girl who has cancer, and it changes everything for him. But I remember the movie a little bit, and I remember very specific parts of this book. So I can't say whether it's the best or not that good. I can't say that much about how it's written. But then there is The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. One of the first great novels of the Romantic era, Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame has thrilled generations of readers with its powerfully melodramatic story. An epic tale of beauty and sadness, The Hunchback of Notre Dame portrays the sufferings of humanity with great compassion and power. So, this is now it has some, now it has, like, the Disney movie and things, but this is the original book. So, if you're interested in that, it's a super classic, it's a super old book, but it's a thing that I think most people have heard of. So, if you're interested in that, there's that. And then another book that I really love is Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. Memoirs of a Geisha. This was one of my favorite books as a kid. It shows you follow this girl. I want to say at the top of my head that her name is Sayuri, but I'm not sure if that's true, but I thought so. But we follow her as she's a little girl, and she gets trained to become a geisha in Japan before World War II, and you see her as a geisha, and then you see what happens after World War II when the Americans come. Anyway, really good book, really good book. As a movie, the movie's fine, but the book is so good. It's hard not to read in like one sitting, just from how it's written. It's written as, it's a historical fiction, but it's supposed to be a memoir, or like basically some kind of diary or recount, and it really feels like it. So it's a very nice read, although I'm not sure how incredibly accurate it is. And then the last thing I grabbed for now is Running with Scissors by Augustin Burroughs. So this is one of the David Sedaris, or Augustin Burroughs, is, there are a couple more books here that we have by him, but I'm not entirely sure. I think this one is about his childhood, and telling a story about him growing up, I think in a similar way to David Sedaris, who tells kind of short stories about his life, but I'm not entirely sure. So, but I've heard very good things about this. I just have never read it myself. I've been meaning to, but I haven't. So, if any of those things caught your interest, let me know. But we can go check out, or I can give you more time to go look around on your own. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll put this stuff up towards the front of the store. So if you want any of it, just come by and grab it on the way. Okay. Thank you.